birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn. It's a new day, it's a new life. Oh, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We welcome you to coverage on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Thursday night for you. This is the ARCA Series presented by Veterans for Life Foundation, Goat Locker Racing, and we are ready to roll here at the virtual Kentucky Speedway. The playoffs are underway. The run towards a championship begins for these guys in these ARCA cars, and we're ready to see how things go here tonight. We're going 80 laps here this evening at Kentucky. Let's take a look, of course, at the Pro Division and AM Division point standings as we are in the round of 8. Quickly trying to approach the round of 6, and then, of course, the championship 4 to decide who will then be the title holder when it's all said and done for the ARCA Series. Goat Locker Racing ARCA Series. These guys are getting ready to go racing. I'm Wesley Outland. Mr. Biggles Dean Hopton will be joining me alongside. Of course, I'll be filling in tonight for our regular announcer, regular voice you're normally used to hearing, the redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves. Let's give the starting lineup here as these guys get ready to go for preliminary laps in Kentucky. Eddie Smith and Jake Ellenson will make up the front row. Then it's going to be Jeremiah Holt and Jamie Mullins, row 2. Michael McCarthy, Jonathan Cofield, the Alabama driver, row 3. George Jewell and Mark Cofield first, row 4. James Kaufman, Lucas Lyons are the top 10. Chance Taylor and Rusty Rafferty, Dean Hopton, will be the first 6 rows here to go at Kentucky, sir.
Then we're going to have the Tyler Justice on the unlucky for some 13 or not there, man from Georgia. Brandon Wallace will be alongside him with Ricky Sisk. And then Sean Pope McCarthy in the next row behind them. Chuck Pegleg Phelps will be in P17 with Matt Knight laying up next to him. John Hodgson. And we're going to be getting ready to go racing, my friend, because it's already kicked it off. And we're going to go green, green, green.
The green flag is out. So we have Sean Pope McCarthy, Chuck Phelps, Matt Knight, John Hodgson, as you just mentioned, Timothy Wilms, Josh Unger and Doug Ellenson are the drivers that are in the back as we are green flag racing, ready to get to it here at Virtual Kentucky as these drivers tonight will be ready to go for 80 laps of racing. And if I remember correctly, am I right? It is basically straight up racing from start to finish. Am I right, Dean? No stages or anything?
Yes, that's correct. So no stages. It's a big boys club at the moment, so they'll just get on with it. Eddie Smith with the lead of this one in the Tide 87 machine, followed by Jake Alex and Jemiah Holt. Oh, who gets a tank slapper to the fence as well, too.
There. I want to remind you, is again 80 laps the distance. This track is 1.5 miles here at Kentucky as we're in the opening laps of tonight's race for the Veterans for Life playoffs for the Goat Locker Racing ARCA Thunder. 60% fuel capacity, 4 total sets of tires. These drivers are given at least one fast repair. And then, of course, 2 attempts at overtime if need be as these drivers roll in to tonight's event here in Kentucky. Last week, obviously, they ran Richmond. Jamie Mullins was the winner in the Pro Top 3, along with Jim Kaufman for AM. Looks like there's a Pro-Am, a Pro Series, and an AM division. And I think it's really cool because it's kind of like 2 different playoff drives. And if you go on board with Jake Ellenson, there he is right there, up on the wheel, got the gloves on. Jake Ellenson right now in that second spot, just kind of watching Smith wheel again here off of turn number 2 here, Dean.
Yeah, you can see Jake's obviously one of the members that put on this fantastic racing league course of the Cruising Classics and Veterans for Life Foundation. His mum's usually out there watching, as well as his father, Doug Ellickson's usually in the pack as well, too, which he's currently running back down there in P21st. Hello, of course, to Shazda Jewel, and that's George, Jewel's better half at the moment there, too, and Justin saying good luck to everybody.
There we go. So remember, this is the round of 8 playoffs, and you saw the bracket earlier. If we want to throw that up on the screen real quickly, let's do that, as right now things are kind of even-steven around the racetrack. There is a bracket. There is a look at it. As, of course, the Goat Locker Racing Inc. is also a 501c3 nonprofit organization. Just want to throw that out there as well. This is the opening round. This is the round of 8. We're looking if drivers win the race, they move into the round of 6, on to the championship 4, where the title will be decided in 1 race to decide who will be the champion. 2 champions will be decided not only just for the Pro-Am, the Pro division, but also the Am division. I like the Pro-Am idea as well. So right now, guys working around the racetrack here in Kentucky. Hey, big thanks to Eddie Smith. He was the Jam Pole Award winner. Of course, Jam.
Brand Printing and Promotions, exactly. Pole Award winner there for the Eddie Smith.
Yeah, Jam Driving and Promotions, the Pole Award. Eddie Smith, driver the number 87 machine, put down the fast lap in qualifying. The driver, of course, out of Mississippi, getting it done. And there he is right now, continuing to lead the way down the back straightaway in the opening laps of this event here at the Kentucky Speedway. Eddie Smith leading, 31.021, by the way. Fast time around the racetrack. So not only is he setting a good fast time in qualifying, he's setting a very nice pace as well currently around the racetrack in this event too.
Chance Taylor having a nice battle out there with Mark Caulfield and Rossi Rafferty just a little bit further behind them as they're going for it too for now. Looks like Lucas Lyons is also putting the pressure on Jemiah Holt, who's down 2 places. Lucas Lyons flying at the moment there, Wes. He's up 6, making his moving gains here in Kentucky.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what a solid job they're doing here. Let's take a look again as they work off of turn 4 back down to the line. Hey, by the way, obviously these drivers will be going 80 laps. 80 laps times 1.5 miles, if you want to do the math with me. That is, of course, 120 miles. That is not a lot of time. I mean, you've got to get around here. You got to get around this track fast, no doubt, as we watch these guys work again for this event. 120 miles. I mean, this race, honestly, will fly by very quickly here. This is a 1.5 mile racetrack. You've only got a certain amount of time to get around here. We're already, 70 laps to go, 10 laps into it. It's already flew by as we got one up into the wall. Problems there for just a moment is the 33 machine. That's the Veterans for Life entry. That's Justice into the wall. And you got to wonder how much damage is on those cars. If there's any mulligan for this series compared to the regular NASCAR programs, Dean, it's the fact that if if you do have a hiccup or make a mistake, you do get a fast repair out of the deal.
Yes, just a bit. That's it. But now with Green Flag Racing, you're going to be dropping quite a few places down there in pit road as drivers are starting to get a little too early. Let's check out those tracking temperatures as well too, Wesley, and see what they are. Apparently 21 degrees Fahrenheit. If not much of a headwind or a tailwind. Oh, who's that in the background? I think that was going a little twirly-whirly. That's Dougie. Oh, Dougie into the fence.
Oh.
Can he hold on to it for the 58, Ray? Look away.
Boy, oh boy, what a hard hit there for a second. Was that Cofield? Jonathan Cofield. No, it's
Doug,
53. It's Cofield. That's Ellenson, actually. Oh, my goodness. Wow. That's the 58 machine. And usually I'm used to saying Jonathan Cofield in the 58 on the other NASRA races that I announced. But Cofield's in the 53. But, yeah, look at what happened to the man there. Doug Ellenson. Problems for his car. Still stays in the position of 21st. As we work our way back around the racetrack to put another lap on the board.
Yeah, for some reason.
Go lock your race in ARCA Series presented by Veterans for Life Foundation. It is the playoff opening round here tonight at Kentucky Speedway. And obviously when you're in the playoffs, it's a totally different world. You've got not the regular season to still. You've got literally the opportunities for a chance to run towards a championship. And literally, I think the pressure is definitely mounting, especially from the top-tier drivers, guys that are on the scorers pylon, as we mentioned, between Pro and Am. And you make one wrong mistake, you make one you get in the wall, you get tangled up with another driver. And honestly, Dean, it is the possibility of literally your championship hopes being dashed, bottom line.
Absolutely. You are 100% correct on that one. So drivers need to be 100% focused here and take care of those tyres. As you can see, they've got to start dancing and floating at the fence. Fix the scoring pylon there for some reason. I just wanted to skip the 19th and 20th, I think it was. But it's all back to its usual location as Eddie Smith still in the lead at the moment. Jake is still keeping him at bay. And they've got a bit of a gap of 2 seconds down to Jamie Mullins.
Yeah, I want to let everybody know that I'm filling in for our buddy Dean Hopton. I really don't follow this series or the information. Our buddy Jacob. I'm sorry, I'm working with Dean. I'm filling in for our buddy Redneck announcer Jacob Reeves. Is what I was going to say. I don't normally announce for this series, and I don't really get a chance to prep or prepare. And there's Jake Ellenson. I think he's the only guy we got on the camera on the wheel. Look at this. He's trying to pick himself running down Smith, and look at this. As you can see from the back straightaway here in Kentucky, he is getting quicker and quicker, trying to run down the 10, trying to run down the 87 of Smith. Ellenson and that 27 here, Dean, looking a little faster, maybe quicker than the leader as he's trying to get a run on him off of the corner.
Yeah, those two are really, really nailing these laps around here in Kentucky, and they're getting the job done up the road and clicking through them pretty quickly, mate, because we're almost getting to 20 to go. We do have a couple of the cams I wanted to show you. I didn't get yours in time there, Brandon Wallace. My apologies on that one, but we do have... I'll tell you what, we'll probably get back to that in a second if Jake holds on, but we got Chuck Pegleg, my friend, who's massive guns on old Chuckster, mate. Look at the size of the guns on this vet. This vet, my friend. So... we'll go back to
wait, who was this now?
That was
Chuck
Feltz, yep.
There you go.
Chuck Pegleg Feltz, yep. In the Marines, my friend, military service member. Veteran, per se, we say. But then here we go. So the battle P1, P2 brewing, battle for P3, and P4 is brewing as Caulfield and Jamie Mullins are going for a tooth and nail.
All right. So we're closing in on 1/4 of this race right now. Right now, closing in on 1/4 of the way through. As these drivers are right now 20 laps in of 80 when they come back around here in a couple of more circuits. This race quickly going by fast and very quiet right now. Jonathan Cofield right now in the 3rd spot. In 2nd spot, obviously, Jake Ellenson, and the leader is Eddie Smith, the tide ride, if you will. But it is getting heated for the lead now because here comes a Chevrolet of Jake Ellenson down to the inside, trying to make a run on the Pontiac. Yes, I did say the word Pontiac, number 87, Eddie Smith for the lead. Down the back straightaway as they go into turn 3 here, Dean.
Hopefully Stream 6 picks itself up there. I had to lower the quality again for some reason. Well, Starlink's not kicking in too well today, as Jacob said that out there. Thank you. Hopefully it sorted itself out. The concentration of Jake Ellingson at the moment needs to be sharp here, because Eddie Smith is really nailing that 87 machine around. He's doing a good job. He was our pole sitter, Jam Printing and Promotions pole sitter, and he wants to remain to get this victory. As those cars are starting to slide quite a bit now on those tyres there, Wesley.
The leader is come off the corner. Look at this big gaggle of traffic. Holy mountain. There we go. That's Taylor, Joel, Justice, Feltz. Remember, we mentioned what Justice had a problem earlier when he got up into the wall. This is in the back of the pack, behind the top 10. Kaufman, Taylor, Joel. There you see these guys all fighting for that spot as they put another lap on the board. 22 of 80 laps right now here for Goat Locker Racing. This race rolls on here.
Some battle up the road. Lucas Lyon's got into pit road, so he's electing to go in early. Probably getting some new boots on there. Going out on the green flag pit stops to drop a couple of places, but then again, he might come back later on if there is a caution soon enough, and he'll be able to stay out while everybody else will go down pit road. So interesting to see. He doesn't want the caution to be too late from now. You'd really want the caution to come out the next couple of laps or so. That way he'll get all those positions gained, and track position is key. Certainly at this point, as you can see. And this is the Hornet's Nest, my friend. Mark Caulfield, Michael McCarthy, and Jeremiah Holt.
Yes, sir. Look at this. Wow. Back across the line, down to the inside. Eddie Smith in the lead. Eddie Smith right now doing a great job up in the top spot. Jake Ellingson, Cofield. Wow.
That's
hang on, Dean. This is getting... Yes, sir. Wow.
Buy it some flowers.
I call it hold on, boy.
Take that fence out for a nice dinner. I've said this before. Buy it some flowers and sing it some poetry if you want. It may help you stay away. At least it'll allow you to get on your racing rig, isn't it? And so that you get permission from the fence to go on the racing rig and race around here this evening in Kentucky. I don't think we're in Kansas anymore. Eddie Smith, he is almost in another state as Jake is still keeping up with him, and they are now, well, Caulfield's starting to catch this party now. It was over 2 seconds, but Caulfield now can just see him, and he's breaking away from the other pack, and that's by Jamie Mullins behind him.
So the leader is Eddie Smith. Again, there's the 87, Jake Ellingson. We're having a little buffering issues, guys. We're trying to work on it.
Yes, my internet's going all pearl-shaped again, as usual of late. I do apologise. Nothing I can do. I can't get any quicker internet here. I'm combining 2 internets together. And I'm in the middle of a Brisbane city as well, too. It's a major city. Timothy Wilms goes in to pit road now. So 2 drivers have elected to go in. Lucas Lyons, Doug had gone down to fix some repairs. Timothy Wilms goes in. So when are the rest of the pilots going to jump in there and get some fresh boots and some gasoline too? Hopefully we can get Wesley back.
So another lap coming up on the board here is, again, we're watching all these guys kind of just working around the racetrack, doing what they need to do. Another solid lap around the Speedway. Quickly, time flying by, well, guys, is, again, right now we're 27 of 80 laps. Is right now Eddie Smith. There you see him leading. We have not seen anybody come down pit road just yet, except some 3 cars in the back, including Lucas Lyons, Timothy Wilms, Doug Ellingson. Here comes now Matt Knights on the pit lane. He's pitting, and I got a feeling you might be able to see this become a 1 pit stop race only. Dean, I don't see this being a strategy event, if you will, of guys coming down pit road.
If we're in green flag conditions, I think you're absolutely right there, Wesley. We'll see how far they can stretch it, because we're 30 down. When we get to the halfway point, you know it for sure. As there's a fantastic battle barring back here. Tyler Justice, James Kaufman, and Chuck. There's Chuck, mate. As I mentioned before, there's old Peg Leg. And he's going for two. No, they're heading to pit road. That's why Chuck's driving past them like that was standing still. And that was Jake Ellingson. Jake's gone in now. So from that P2 position, Tyler Justice has gone in. Sean Pope McCarthy. So when are the rest of the field going to come in? Eddie Smith and the likes of that. Let's check out their last lap times as well, too, to give you an indication of what the drivers are going to be doing too when they come out as fresh boots.
Smith, Cofield, Mullins, McCarthy, Holt, top 5. We're all single file. That's the way it is right now.
Caution, yellow
Oh,
flag.
caution.
And we got a caution. Wow, this really changes everything. Problem on the racetrack. George Jewell crashing. And the caution will come out for the first time here. Here's a look at the replay. Chevrolet, number 36, the man out of Michigan, Lakeview, Michigan driver. George Jewell. And wow, he got tangled in the back by somebody. Somebody bonsaied him and hit him from behind coming off of 4. And he lost all that momentum and spun the 36 around here, Dean.
Yeah, it looked like, George Hill looked like I was heading into pit road there, and maybe someone miscalculated that. And it looked like it was going very slow into pit road. Maybe taking it easy, and it gets banzais, as you said. And thus, Rusty Raffi will be coming out of pit road after that. He just dived in, so the rest of the field will be going in as soon as they can, of course. They're stuck behind the pace car. They caught the pace car already. So how's this going to pan out for the rest of the drivers that have already came out? Lucas Lyons is a lap down, Rusty Rafferty, etc. at the back here. But they have taken their pit stop, as well as Jake Ellingson, Timothy, all these drivers back here. They'll be catching now. You know, they're going flat out to catch up to the pace car pack. And, of course, so they'll be back onto our lead lap once this lot go in. And you'd assume this lot would go in, wouldn't you, Wesley? I mean, it's just a waste of a caution pit stop for sure. Here they come.
Yeah, I got a feeling everybody's coming down pit road. If you don't, you literally, I mean, if you're the back marker guys that pitted earlier, they're not going to come to the pit lane. But everybody, and I mean everybody, here comes the whole cavalry down the pit lane. It's going to be 4 new freshies and fill up the tanks with that virtual Sunoco fuel, as Dean would always say, Jacob, our man that we're filling in tonight for. And obviously Eddie Smith coming down pit road. There you see the Tide Ride hitting his marks, and 4 tires and fuel. Everybody, I think, is going to be getting 4 tires and fuel. And I'll be honest with you, you're 7 laps to the halfway mark here. This could be the money stop of the race as well. I really think these guys, unless we get a late race caution, can stretch it out here, Dean, and go to the finish of this race here tonight at Kentucky, sir.
Yeah, let's have a look where the rest of the field are going to come back out, because they're stuck behind the pace car. They can't just jump ahead of the pace car, and the pace car's behind, the likes of Eddie Smith and everything like that. So, unfortunately, that early pit stop from Jake Ellingson has just tore up his race strategy. It's just, you can't pick him sometimes, can you? You get the luck of the draw. Who hit him? We want to go back there. Doug got caught speeding in the pits as well. Apparently, we're hearing from Ray. So, there's Dougie. We'll go back and look at that replay again, just to have a look at who was the car that hit George Jewell.
Yeah, who's the one? There's the car, George Jewell. Here comes a fast car approaching. There's a
Caulfield.
18. Number 18. Lucas Lyons. Yeah, Lucas Lyons hit the 36.
Yeah, there it is.
Sir.
Yeah, you're breaking up a little bit there, Wes. Probably.
Sorry. It's storming in North Carolina. I'm just letting you.
Bang! Wow. Yeah, it's one to say whether or not he was going just. Would George still go too slow into that? Should he have been a little bit more off the road? I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? As Timothy Williams comes back down the pit road again. I think he just went down the pit road before, so he's come down there for a second time. Maybe just a final splash dash to take it to the end.
Wilms' car.
We didn't know if they could go to the end, did we? Well, if we're on 2 stops there, Wesley.
So Eddie Smith, of course, is the one that is in the lead followed by Jonathan Cofield, Jamie Mullins, 1, 2, and 3. McCarthy, Cofield, top 5. Holt, Wallace, Kaufman, Taylor, Phelps, your top 10. That's the way it stands right now. First caution of the race here in Kentucky. We'll let us step away and take a break. More for Goat Locker Racing playoffs when we return. A big thanks to Cruising Classics. A beautiful looking commercial there to show you all of the fancy classic cars. I like big opportunity.
Which one do you like,
Appreciate
Wes?
them doing. They
Do you
do
have a favorite
Locker
one?
Racing. I kind of like the probably the second silver car that they showed, the Nova, I think it was. I thought that was a pretty nice looking car.
Yeah, let's know. Wesley's having storms at the moment currently where he is, so he might go robotic every once in a while when there's a lightning strike or something happening in the background. So just bear with us for that one. Do apologize. My dingo
Yeah, it definitely is. It's been storming here in the Carolinas, man. Woke up this morning to the weather. It's still storming. It's been storming and raining all day.
So I did get a
Ready to
one
come back
more
to
to
the
go.
Y.
Yeah, for the pace car. We'll go around one more time. The lights should go out the pace car any second. And then we'll get you ready to re-rack them, restack them, and roll them all out again. Around again. This time it should still be Eddie Smith in the lead of this one. Although I'm not quite sure the timing tail is showing us Jonathan Caulfield. Well, they're, 1 and 2 on the grid currently at the moment. So, Caulfield's up Paul. Eddie's back where Eddie started the race. Jam Printing and Promotions pole setter. Jamie Mullins. He's gained a place there. And Michael McCarthy. It's the only thing that we really got that caught some of those drivers off, wasn't it? Was the likes, unfortunately, for Jake Ellingson by boxing just that one lap before the pace car caught him out. And now he's got a bit of work to do back here in P16.
So Eddie Smith, Cofield, Mullins, McCarthy, Cofield. Okay, so we have a Jonathan Cofield. We have a Mark Cofield. Hey, there's Josh Unger. Josh Unger right now in the Dirty Dozen spot. He's in 12th position right now. Definitely sporting that Goat Locker Racing hat as well.
And ZZ Top Beard.
Yeah, man. So,
like
you know,
that.
let's get it back underway here as we're just about ready to come to the halfway mark of this race. Let's set the stage for you, of course, as we are approaching halfway. Playoffs for Goat Locker Racing.
Going green. Not going
No,
green.
it looks like they waved off the start.
Yeah, I wonder why, because everybody is stacked up on the grid. You can see in the track map. So, I don't want to turn on race control messages. And I don't want to turn on the driver chat because you know all about that one, don't we, Wesley? A little bit of beef segments. And speaking of beef, let's have a look what's happening for the rest of the week, as you are aware, of course, that we have.
Yes. Well, obviously, you can join us on the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. I'm usually the anchor for those events right there, Nazareth Truck, Xfinity, and Cup. Filling in for our buddy, Mr. Redneck announcer Jacob Reeves tonight for Goat Locker Racing of the ARCA playoffs. And then, of course, the Cops Concerns the Police Survivors Truck Series of Nazareth tomorrow night. Make sure you join us. So, yeah. There you go. By the way, quick program reminder, we are off next Monday night. Just want to throw that out there, right? You know that, Dean, right? We're off next Monday. What are we going to do with ourselves?
Fix my computer. that I've been scrantily trying to fix. It's a network part of a computer. I'm plugging in a little device in, of course, to cheat code my way around that one at the moment. But the problem's still, and it's a brand new motherboard too, so I've got to get that one. Daniel's the man. Daniel's out. Daniel as well too, looking like he's doing our race control, helping us with that one. Now, let's go. Hopefully this time around, Wes.
Let's go back to racing here, obviously, as we come back to the restart with 43 laps to go here in the Geico restart zone. Green flag flies, back underway in the Veterans for Life playoffs for Goat Locker Racing, ARCA Thunder. Let's see again. Second verse, same as the first on the restart. Smith quickly back up in front in the tide ride. Cofield back to second. Mullins third. McCarthy, Holt, top five, single file up against the safer barrier as all these guys dive into turn number 3 and 4.
And
what a run, Dean, and obviously Smith quickly right back to the whip.
Well, after that big gap that they had as well, too, it's all neglated. More importantly, but it's all re-rack and restack with all similar tyres that everybody has. I think a couple of drivers had a pit stop a little bit earlier, but that one lap shouldn't make too much of a difference. 1 or 2 laps on those tyres. They're heating up through 40 laps and 42 big ones to go very soon now, mate.
Eddie Smith up in front. What a strong run for the tie ride. He is the man right now that's setting the bar over the rest of the field. Of course, there's Cofield. Cofield, as we watch some more racing going on in the back, this is Chance Taylor, Kaufman. They're in the top 10, trying to get to Wallace and Mark Cofield, if you will. Now, you know, Dean, we know Jonathan Cofield, but Mark Cofield's a name that we don't normally cover on the other Nazareth programs.
Family members battling it out here in the racing team. And that's Mark Cofield to the left, with Chance Taylor. Brandon Wallace is just a little bit further up the road. Will that be an opportunity? No, Chance Taylor lifts off a little bit. And says, no, I think Mark Cofield's going to shut the door on me this time around, but that's where your hot zone is currently, as Eddie Smith set the fastest lap on that last lap. It's a 30, just shy as the first one hit the 30 club, 30.9999, all the nines on your dial.
Through the front straightaway. Second half of this race underway already. By the way, we've only been about 28 minutes under green flag racing conditions. And we have literally put ourselves through the first half. Quiet part of the race. 1 caution only. After that incident with Jewel getting hit in the back by Lyons off of 4. I'll tell you what, Dean. I'm kind of new to the Goat Locker race, and I only did one broadcast. I think it was last year during the summer. I think it was. I filled in for our buddy, Mr. Redneck announcer Jacob Reeves. I think it was Bristol, if I remember correctly. And but I will tell you this: from what I've seen so far, some of these Nazareth guys could maybe take some pointers from these Goat Locker racing guys. They're very competitive, but they're very, they're very composed. They don't try to rough each other up. They don't try to make any daring bonsai moves or crash each other out. And as I say that, here comes the second caution as we got Sean Pope, McCarthy, and Doug Ellingson getting into it with one another in the corner.
See, I was just about to tell you, Wesley. I was about to say, don't go there, Wes. No, generally, it's been very good this season. Like, you have those races sometimes, but when it just goes pearl shaped, and you have cautions, and it's unfortunate. It looks like Dougie's just hit the fence and he's come off, and I think he's probably come back down there and bang, he's tagged Sean. And that's all she said on that one. That's a big or my bad moment there, unfortunately, for Dougie. And that's taken Sean out. They're running at the back of the field, but they'll be running a little bit further at the back of the field right now. So there she has it.
To answer some questions in the chat box, just want to let y'all know that obviously, again, I'm in North Carolina. As we show you a replay of what happened, it is nasty weather outside where I live at in the Carolinas. I mean, it's been lightning storming all day. It is very heavy rains outside right now. Hopefully, it'll fix. I did close and reset it, so hopefully it fixed the problem. But to answer your question, as we have more guys coming down pit road, I'm very surprised at this. I thought maybe they could go to the finish of the race. But to answer your question, I think. Thank you, Justin. It's not all the time. Sounds great now, but just randomly sounds robotic. So, oh boy, I never thought my voice would sound like a
Olo
robot.
allegato, Mr. Roboto.
Who is race control tonight? So to answer your question, for race control, it looks to me from the notes that I was given, Daniel Craighill is the race control for the live, and Jake Ellingson is the in-car.
Yes, that's correct.
Whatever in-car means.
Now, this is an interesting strategy. In-car, just
Control.
he's in-car and, just chatting to the drivers in the driver's chat, no doubt, about, slow down, take it easy, all that sort of jazz whilst he's driving.
Gotcha. There you go. So there you go.
Josh,
the guy was asking who's doing race control, so now you know.
Yeah, thank you for that there, Wes. So this is the only man that's elected not to stay out, so he might be confident enough, or he may be thinking, oh, well, there could be another caution too, Wes. So, once cautions breed cautions, but Josh did stay out. And so he gives him that track position. He'll jump past everybody and be in the lead. Now, it'll throw a bit of pressure, of course, on Eddie Smith and Jonathan Colville, won't they? Because now they won't have that clear anymore. They're going to have to get past number 51.
Yeah, and I don't know if you're buffering on your end or if it's happening on my end, but obviously, second caution of the race. We're going to take a break just after halfway. There's a look at the schedule, and there's a look at the playoffs schedule from the season. Obviously, tonight, round of 12 begins, and there you see it, Kentucky. Next week, we go to Iowa, 2 rounds. Then we move into the round of 8. Atlanta, Vegas, and that's your semifinal round. The final race will be decided right before Christmas. Of course, that'll be the holidays of the playoffs for the Veterans for Life Foundation Goat Locker Racing ARCA Series. And there it is, Homestead, Miami, December 19th. We'll take a break. We're back with more in just a moment to Goat Locker Racing. Thursday night, the playoffs on the NASRA 360 Racing Network from Kentucky.
For Murph's Magical Creations. Home to custom laser engraving and gifts. This veteran-owned and operated company engraves for all occasions. If you want one of Murph's Magical Creations, call the number on your screen or commission through either Instagram or via email. Murph's Magical Creations, made with love for you.
And we welcome you back to Goat Locker Racing Playoffs, ARCA Thursday night. Leslie Outland filling in for our buddy, Mr. Redneck announcer Jacob Reeves. And we get ready to go back to the restart here. It is the playoffs, as we mentioned. There's a look at the bracket. I love the fact, Dean, that there is a Pro Division and there is a AM Division, Pro-Am. But basically there's going to be 2 champions when we reach December 19th at Homestead.
Yes, exactly. That's good. So it just allows some of the drivers that are just a little bit way much quicker than some of the others, unfortunately, to have an opportunity to battle it out in their own. We do that sometimes on a lot of road courses that I broadcast for, and I think that certainly does spice and dice things up. Sometimes there's 3 and 4 divisions. There are Pro AM, AMs classes too. But it's good that Goat Locker Thursdays do that, and we're going to get ready to go. Green flag racing again.
Green flag, green flag.
Back to the restart. Does anybody got anything for Smith? Because my goodness, he has been the strong car here, Dean.
Josh is dropping down a lot of places here under massive pressure. I didn't think it would be that much suffering with a 10-lap difference in tyres, but I am wrong on that one. he is down in P6 now after electing to stay out, and it's really starting to bunch of traffic up here at the moment. They're eagerly trying to get past, but can't as easy. Let's see, we'll get those temperature up in the tyres first. Whoa.
Good hard racing right there. Look out. Look out. The 87 up against the safer barrier. Hold on to it, buddy, and he will. Oh, man, I'll tell you what. I bet you Eddie Smith had a whoa moment right there. The 97 as well. Look at that.
Oh, it's Josh losing it
Falling
here.
back was Mark Cofield. Now the 51 in trouble. That's Josh Unger. He's free falling, like the lyrics of a Tom Petty song. And while that goes on, the Tide Ride gets back up in front. Cofield is second, Lyons third, and now Lyons is going after Cofield for the Chevrolet second spot as they go into turn 3 here. 30 laps to go, might I add.
Yeah, that's the top 4 that you can see, and then there's a bit of a gap back further down. But Eddie Smith's been holding on. He wants to get this race win. He probably would deserve to get this race win because he's done everything right, including his pit stops and all that situation timed perfectly. Jonathan Caulfield wants to try to steal this one way. Lucas Lyons definitely coming to play. Jamie Mullins, that's a fantastic. With Brandon Wallace a little bit further down the field. And still, well, Jake Ellingson's running in P10, so he's slowly but surely chipping his way back through there after the unfortunate timed caution that messed his race strategy up at the moment.
It certainly is. As right now we're kind of watching all of this transpire one more time. Eddie Smith in front. For how long, though? Look at Lyons. Lyons has caught up with the top 2. They're battling now. About to be a 4-car battle for the lead, for the finish, is now Jamie Mullins has got himself up there into the fray of the 3 trio cars. Working off 3 and 4. Look at now Cofield looking low. Looking low. Here comes Lyons looking low. Throws the block by Smith. You can't block them all. Just like Pokemon, you got to catch them all. You can't block them all here in ARCA Thunder as they go to one Dean.
Gets it too. He gets the job done. Does a little reverse sweep over and under on Caulfield and says thank you very much. And that's the second time Jamie Mullins has been into that fence in the background there. I don't think that car's going to take too many more hits to the wall, so he's got to be very, very cautious to actually bring Brandon Wallace back into this pack of 5 now. As Eddie Smith is feeling the pressure here from Lucas Lyons.
I'm believing, if I'm looking at my stats and info correct, also, Dean, wouldn't this be 4 wins in a row for Eddie Smith if he was able to win tonight in the 87? But I know Lyons battles back on the outside here.
Yeah, this is practically the first time that Eddie Smith's had to concede this lead of the race on normal racing conditions, and he's had to tuck in behind. So Lucas Lyons has gone out front there, perhaps a little bit of saving tyres and saving fuel when it comes a little bit more crucial to this one. Who knows? But anyway, Lucas Lyons says, I'm out front now. Wee, let me go.
This might be the smart thing to do right now. You're exactly right. I think the smart thing to do right now is just kind of concede, if you will. You still got a long way to go in this race. I know I say that jokingly because they are coming to the line, and it will be 25 laps to go. Working off 4. There is Lyons now, the 18 up in front.
Here comes Caulfield. So Eddie's definitely backing off a little bit here at this point. He's playing it with 25 to go. He is definitely. He's just allowed that one through. I think you're right on that one, playing a different strategy. Now Jamie Mullins is going to be on the tailpipe of the 87 Tide machine.
I think the best thing to do, again, is right now just kind of, back away, try to reset, don't overdrive your car, don't overuse your tires, obviously, and then try to make a run at the finish because you are now down to 25 laps to go. This race has really flew by very quickly. We've only had a couple of cautions to slow things down. And again, right now, you're watching Lucas Lyons in that top spot. Now, Cofield, that's Jonathan Cofield, the Mumford, Alabama driver we know very well. What an improvement this guy's done, and it seems like any time Nazar's on the card, Monday through Friday now, Dean Hopton, he is right there in the mix, racing with these guys, and there he is in the 53. Eddie Smith, who has dominated in the Tide Ride all night long here in Kentucky. Has fell back now to third. He's under attack now by Jamie Mullins as it's single file now for the top 5 going to 1.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's usually not a racing event you're going to find out Monday to Fridays doesn't have a quality car on there. So it's absolutely fantastic racing. And we love to see the family really getting involved there. Jamie Mullins would love to see himself getting past Eddie Smith. And Eddie Smith may be thinking at this point, well, I can allow a couple through, but it's going to be too much for me to fight back later on for the racing lead if he's saving some of those tyres. So, yep, start to see the fight coming with 22 to go now here in Kentucky. Thank you all for tuning in. A lot of people out there in the chat. I told you about this, didn't I, in the green room yesterday? I said about this Goat Locker series is that everybody gets involved. Friends and family members, they're all in the chatter, so keeping it so lively. Just like grandstands, people on the grandstands cheering along.
They are cheering them along. We are getting down to the finish of this one, and obviously it is heating up, no doubt about it, as they work their way back into the corner again. It is, again, the playoffs. It is Goat Locker Racing. So glad you're joining us for ARCA. This is, again, the Veterans for Life Foundation, ARCA Thunder. Round 1 here tonight, here in the playoffs for the run to the championship. You have a pro bracket, you have an AM bracket. 2 champions will be decided when it's all said and done and by the time we reach the week before Christmas. There's that bracket we just mentioned. Now back to the action on track. Is right now Lions in the lead, but look who is quickly in hot pursuit. It's Cofield right there to the inside as they go into 1.
And they're starting to form a little bit of a gap to Eddie Smith down there, who's been leading most of this race. So what's going to happen? Once again, are these drivers chewing through too much? Will they have enough meat on those tires left at the end of it to stick the traction? Because we saw earlier under those heavy green flag racing laps that the car starts slowly sliding into the fence. And if you want to stick down the inside apron and give you that overtaking opportunities, you're going to need some sticky tires.
To the line, under 20 to go, by the way. Don't forget to join us tomorrow night.
Oh, Mullis in the fence again.
Playoffs. The playoffs cutoff race in the first round for the NASRA Concerns of Police Survivors Truck Series. And I also want to remind you that we had some crazy fireworks last night in NASRA Cup Series between Jeff Merck and Keith Bradley, both former champions. Obviously, Bradley defending 2-time champion of the Cops Truck Series. It got rather heated last night in the Cup race for NASRA at Pocono. Understanding from Jacob Reeves before sign-off, Dean, both of those drivers are below the cutoff line. They have been going at it in the chat box, throwing mean, if you will, gifts and memes at one another, trash talking, calling each other names, left and right since last night, all day today, and
we got beef.
Interesting to see what happens tomorrow night.
Caution. Yellow.
Oh, this is further back. This might have been Tyler Justice. We saw this brewing up there.
Oh boy, Tyler Justice in trouble. There it is.
Yeah,
and a late race caution.
Yeah, it was. We were trying to keep an eye on two battles at once. Of course, the battle for the lead there. Did Lucas Lyons get ahead of Jonathan Caulfield just before the end of that one? Not sure. Caulfield might have got ahead. But either way, this is what happened. We knew it was kind of brewing up here as I switched the cameras over. And let's find out. That's the 33 going straight down, isn't it, into the 17? And I was surprised he didn't turn anybody. He just got turned himself. That's Tyler Justice.
Late race caution, 17 to go. 15 laps to go, but they come back to the line. And there it is, the driver there going around. Tyler Justice in the 33. Here's a look at it one more time. Did he get into? Yeah, there's the 97. He got into him. There's Mark Cofield. So while Jonathan Cofield is in the lead, Mark Cofield got a little aggressive, got into the 33, and put us under another caution flag.
They come down for more boots. I feel they need the boots. This is going to be a big call, of course. It was Jonathan's call because if he elected to stay out, they would have left him hung for dry for tires. Everybody is going to come down. Maybe, no, they all are. Everybody. I thought somebody could stay out, but then we saw what happened last time, didn't we? when you did stay out with Josh, he got punished. So
Good.
fresh
Eddie
boots.
Smith needs to have a flawless pit stop, by the way, to my add. He's done really well all night long. Keep an eye on the tide ride. He's up in the P1 spot on pit lane. He needs to have a great pit stop. He needs to be ready to drop the jacks when the crew does. Get him out there as quickly as possible. As right now, we'll see if he can get back to the lead. He cannot. Cofield gets it done. Wow.
Yep, Cop, they stayed
Looks
out.
like it's Cofield, Lyons, and Smith, the first three off pit road.
Exactly the way they went in, too, Jamie Mullins. One of those drivers, they won't have enough time to get any of that damage fixed as well, too. If they did, you saw Jamie Mullins was going into that fence a few times. So there's a stricken Dougie that's going to get a lap down. It's still in the race. Good to see you there. In fact, everybody's in the race. Sean Pope's just coming out of pit road. He's a little bit slow there for a second, but he is still in it. So 22 gladiators still remaining in this race. A few laps down for him, but I like to see that they're going to bring it home. Practice makes perfect, Wes.
Shootout time from Kentucky, round one of the playoffs. Win, you advance to the next round. The finale to decide who's going to win, and then the closing laps when we come back. Well, we're getting down to the finish of it. Under 15 laps to go. Welcome back to Goat Locker Racing Playoffs for the ARCA Series. Big thanks again to Veterans for Life Foundation. Yes, sir. I'm Wesley Outland filling in for the redneck announcer, Jacob Reeves. Of course, my apologies on not knowing all of the details and the info. I did my best on prepping and preparing as fast as I got the info. Mr. Dean Hopton is alongside. Had a little technical issues, a little weather. Dean, you and I know this because we work in the broadcast field. People don't realize if it's sunny outside, if it's hot, it can mess up your internet. If it's rainy and stormy and cloudy, snowy, it can affect your internet. I've always said the perfect day for internet is sunny, 75, 80 degrees, not a cloud in the sky, or at night as well, clear night. So.
Yeah, especially because I'm using Starlink as well, too. So it could even be a plane that flies directly over it and a float path.
Yes.
That actually drops it out for a second or so like that. Things like that, yeah. Storms, as you mentioned, can play a factor. Dingoes
exactly
eating
right.
internet, chewing on internet cables, they could play a factor. Or kangaroos, koalas, everything like that.
I tell people this all the time, and you even know this as well, Dean. Your body puts off energy. Your body puts off electricity. Even that could cause interference. Like, seriously. So, all right, ready to settle it here. It'll be 12 laps to go when they come back to the Geico restart zone. Here we go. Let's settle it out here in Kentucky. Because right now, Cofield down to the inside. Makes the room move. On the restart, look at Smith on the bottom. Powers on the inside. Makes the run on Lyons. Lyons gives plenty of room on the bottom lane to the 87. Look at Smith. He knows he's got to go. He's got to go down. He about spun. He got sideways there as he really spun the tires. Coming off a 2 there, Dean, but he hold it together.
Yeah, its opportunities are coming down thick and fast with 10 to go. We could have 3 wide almost for the race lead here, Wesley. You know that all 3 of them want it. In fact, some of the other drivers, but the only 3 at the moment that are close enough and reach it for. They get a huge gap almost over to Jamie Mullins. So, Jonathan Caulfield up on the outside, Lucas Lyons, and on the inside there's Eddie Smith. And he is going for a 2 for now on the inside. Has he saved those tyres enough? But they're all fresh tyres. They're all the same, Wes.
And he dives down to the inside. It looks like Smith knows he needs to be to the inside of the racetrack. That's the preferred line. He is there. Smith on the bottom. Here comes now Caulfield up on the top shelf. Now Lyons on the inside. Here comes the battle for the lead, possibly the win. Caulfield pulls the trigger up on the top. In the middle lane, he falls back, shuffles just a little bit. Smith now back to the lead, looking for 4 in a row off 2.
He needs to get a good run here, Lucas Lyons and Caulfield. We can work together somehow at the moment to stop Eddie Smith from getting too far up the road because time is ticking, tick-tock, tick-tock. It's getting down to about 9 to go soon, Wes, as they're going to see Barney the flagman. And if Eddie Smith gets up the road and he's gone like he did in the first half of this race.
Into turn number 3 now. And they work back to 1 and 2 to the finish of this race. Laps flying by, race flying by. Smith in the lead. There he is, the man out of Mississippi, Brandon, Mississippi, Eddie Smith. Single file.
Ooh, quick head, look a little loose on the rear end of that one of Lucas Lyons' car. So he might be putting a little bit too much pedal to the metal down, trying to catch. Don't look away from your screens.
And I'll be honest with you, and Dean, I'm telling you, dude, if you're these guys right here, you know, I know you want to win the race, but you just got to be patient. You don't want to pull the trigger too early. You don't want to make a mistake because it really looks like, I mean, if you make a big bonsai and you spin or you have tire spin, you could possibly flat spot the tires. You could literally lose all the momentum that you had with the guy that's in front of you. So literally when you set up to make your move, you better be ready like a chess match, if you will, going for the checkmate. You got to definitely know when it's the right time. 7 to go. I know we're closing in on the finish, but you don't want to put yourself out ahead too early. I'm worried about that for Smith.
Yep, you could absolutely be right. There's a bit of lap traffic up the road. I think that might be Dougie. He'll get out of the way. Dougie doesn't want to spoil anybody else's party here at the moment. He's just going to be out there.
That's Josh Unger at 51.
Josh,
yeah.
So, once again, same situation. Shouldn't be involved. Just stick up to the high line, I would imagine, on that one. I wouldn't stick too much down on the apron because that's where the drivers are favouring the apron currently at the moment, as Eddie Smith will be approaching him. He does go down the apron, actually, and that's on the straightaway anyway, so thankfully it won't cause a problem. Eddie Smith will be... Oh, there has caused a problem! Oh, no!
Oh, my goodness. The leaders crash into the wall. Caulfield in the round. Around goes a number of other cars. Gotta wonder how much damage might be on the Smith machine. Caulfield, Unger, that's a lap machine that got in the way of the leaders fighting for the finish, and they're not done crashing yet. Matt Knight's got a problem. He got collected. John Hutchin got involved. So did Jonathan Caulfield, Seth Pope. Ooh. Here's a look at a replay. As we go under caution, the lap car caused that accident. Unbelievable.
Wow. I thought he'd already cleared him by then. Eddie Smith's not going to be a very happy camper on that one, but he's still, well, he hasn't got lead of the race anymore. Look, so Eddie Smith's come down. Yeah. This is kind of what I was worried about. That Josh, I was like, you wouldn't want to stick to the inside apron too much because that's where all the drivers would be using. You're best to go on the outside wall. But I think it was just a wrong place, wrong time. Just got caught in that moment, didn't it? And how did it affect the rest of the drivers before? Well, that was Josh, of course, that we saw. Let's have a look from his perspective. So once again, he's trying to do the right thing, but then he's back on the racing line. Who else has he collided with? Caulfield.
Yeah, I hate it for Smith. I don't know how badly damaged the 87 is, but I'm going to tell you something. You're Unger, you're a lap car. There's a race going on. You're not in it. You should have literally got out of the way. You should have got up high. You should have went down below the apron. You literally just changed the entire outcome of the finish of this race with the leaders. Not saying that he meant to do it intentionally, but look at this. Oh, my God, what a hit. Boy, oh, boy, the 53 was right in the middle, and he got T-boned.
Yeah, this has definitely changed things around at the moment. There will be some unhappy drivers because,
watch this again, right? I mean, he's in the middle of the racing groove.
Yeah.
Cofield into the fence. Such a good run for him as well. The 51 of Unger. Watch it one more time here. There's the 87. There's the tide ride. He's in the lead. You know, he's dropping to the bottom because he should have the preferred line. He's the leader. The 51 knew he was going to lap down or going to lap down again. He should have went up high. Instead, he stayed in the racing groove. He really was not at full race speed, if you will, Dean. And in doing so, the 87 just bonsai'd and hit the hell of the rear end of the car. Bottom line, that's what happened here.
That's exactly, yeah. So there will be a lot of talk about that one because it has switched things around a little bit. What drivers have got damage too? We don't even know how much damage did Eddie Smith get in his machine. Jamie's had the lucky of surviving that one, but of course it has wrecked, obviously, Caulfield's car.
That's right.
And but this is actually, somebody else's misfortunes is somebody else's reward because Jake is now up into place. So Jake would have gained some of those advantages for this. I'm sure Jake doesn't want to gain those places by that situation occurring, but however, you still take it as it's handed to you, and so no doubt Jake will be probably on the horn talking to the drivers as Jake actually about what happened. Maybe he just spoke to him before. He's also race control from there, and he would have had a bird's eye view of that, wouldn't he? Let's actually go back and have a look at the replay real quickly of what it looked like from Jake's perspective.
Yeah, here, look at this now. This is Jake Ellington.
So he's seen that.
And look at, wow. I mean, holy cow. And then he's got to quickly get on the blinders because he could have got caught up in the accident secondary. Good save, though, for Ellington to stay in this fight.
Yeah, and he looks a bit dinged up at the front there, but he was ahead there, but he's lifted off and allowed those positions through. I think they've called it on the situation when the accident happened. So that is very interesting. Very, very interesting. That's one for all of you out there to also make a decision on that one. Because I don't know what I was just talking about at the time, wasn't I, with you, Wesley? I was just saying, if you're going to get out of the way, I would choose the high wall to be out of the way because we know that they were hugging that apron like their favourite grandma going down there. That was the preferred racing line you mentioned.
No, you're exactly right. One wrong slip there, and then, of course, again, you're in the racing groove. Should have got out of the way. I'm being honest. I don't know these guys that well on the outside looking in. I'm telling you, should have got out of the way. The 51, Unger just should have got up high. Should have got up out of the way of the leaders. So there's a race going on. You're not in it, and now what you've done is you literally have shooken up the entire bracket of the way this could finish the race. I mean, look at this. You know, you got Mullins now. Jamie Mullins in the lead. Eddie Smith is going to be on the outside lane. He's the preferred lead. This guy is the Tide Ride has dominated this race so far all night tonight. He's now back to second. He's going to have to go to the outside for the restart. I think the preferred line is the bottom because it looked like everybody wants to get to the inside for the green. Lucas Lyons, don't count him out. Jake Ellington, how damaged are those cars? Remember, how damaged is the 87? Did he get any part of the accident when he got into Unger? That is a lot of things that we're worrying, that we're going to be watching and thinking about for sure here.
The fourth caution underway, so we were having some nice green flag racing, but it has switched things around. It is making it very exciting. And now we're going to find out who can hold on with 3 to go there, Wes.
So let's get this back underway. It'll be a 3-lap, now make it actually 2 to go. 2-lap shootout, green-white checker. There is a chance for double overtime. We are still in the regular scheduled distance. 2 to go, restart, give it to Mullins on the inside. The man in the number 1 seed of the bracket in the pro spot is getting the launch over Lyons Smith and Taylor Omai. And he's on front in the 66. All that matters is the last lap, and they're coming to the end of it, Dean.
Yep, he might have this one in the bag. I could see Eddie Smith dropping back a little bit, so he may have that little bit of damage you mentioned. He's going to be holding on for dear life to even get third at the moment. Lucas Lyons may have a last-minute ditch here to take it on Jamie.
Forward! Oh my goodness, 4 and 5 wide in the back, final time. Look at this. And remember what we talked about, Dean. How damaged is Eddie Smith's car? Eddie Smith is back in 4th and 5th. He's free falling. Meanwhile, Lyons on the inside battles with Mullins. Mullins gives him plenty of room. Smith now back up top. Clears by Taylor. Can Mullins hold off Lyons? Lyons on the inside. He got him at the line.
Wow.
It is Jamie Mullins to win the race here in the opening playoff round in Kentucky.
Absolutely amazing.
Unbelievable.
That, wow. Wow.
Timing and scoring only shows to the thousandth. 0.01, 0.08 at the finish. Mullins to Smith for 1, 2, and 3. What a wow.
Yeah, we'll go back and have a look at that one. Hopefully get something a little bit closer to see.
Look at.
We'll try to go to the chopper cam. That's probably our best one.
Watch this again. From the chopper cam to the line. Lions down below the apron trying to make a quick move bonsai on the 66. Mullins couldn't get there. Jamie Mullins, your winner.
And a well-deserved burnout. Could have been a lot different, but he had to be at the right place at the right time, and he was certainly in it. And with the unfortunate events that had occurred, obviously at the caution at the very end of the race, but still, he had to fight his way. He was certainly always up there anyway with the drivers, and anything could have happened.
He was.
We don't even
He
know
was.
at the end. So.
And as we mentioned, Dean, the man out of Piney Flats, Tennessee, that came into the round of 8, he came into the quarterfinal round up in front. Now, regardless of what happens, he is going to the semifinal round. He literally has punched his ticket in to the opportunity to run again. How about that? Here's the results here tonight. By the way, Mullins wins the Pro Division regular season championship. He had 1 win, 0 poles, 4 top 5s, and 6 top 10s for Mr. Consistency. He now picks up his second Goat Locker Racing ARCA Thunder win this year. And again, Dean Hopton, it is a win also in the playoffs opening round here in Kentucky. He is going to the semifinals in the next 2 weeks. Jamie Mullins is your winner. Lucas Lyons second. Eddie Smith is back to third. Chance Taylor, Jake Ellingson, your top 5. Wallace, Rafferty, Felts, Justice, Jewell, your top 10 as the rest of these guys begin to burn it down and celebrate. There's, of course, McCarthy, Holt, Wilms, Kaufman, Cofield, both Cofield names in the top 15, Dean, when it's all said and done, boss.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job getting it well in there. Ricky Sisk, McKnights, and Hochin and Sean Pope, of course, with one of those incidents. And there's a few more drivers in there that's not showing currently on there for some reason. But that would be Doug and Josh Angler. We do. So I think we've also got to, we'll speak to these drivers actually after the commercial break, and we'll find out exactly what happened from this perspective there, right, Wesley?
Well, it'll be fun for sure. Race that lasted just under an hour. When it's all said and done, checkered flag falls, and again, it is Mr. Mullins, the regular season champion, the man that led the bracket in the pro bracket for this ARCA Thunder Goat Locker Racing program, has now won here at Kentucky. Jamie Mullins, Lyons, Smith, we'll talk to them in post-race next. Stay with us. Back here in virtual Kentucky, the Goat Locker Racing ARCA Series presented by Veterans for Life Foundation playoffs. Round number 1 in the books here in Kentucky. Jamie Mullins picks up the win, his second win, by the way, of the season. He won the regular season championship, and he went on to win the opening round of the playoffs. Also, he's the pro driver winner. The AM driver winner was the 7th place man of Rusty Rafferty. We'll talk to those winners as well as Lyons and Smith. It sounds like a law firm. That's the way they finish here in tonight's opening round at Kentucky. Let's go down to Victory Lane. Jamie Mullins, congratulations. You know, as I mentioned in the broadcast, some shenanigans happened at the latter stages of the race to put you in contention. But it don't matter how many laps you lead, except that last one. That's the payout window. You got around those guys on the restart, and you get the win. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, sir. Yeah, I kind of felt like that was a gift. I was content to sit there and ride back and forth, and some things happened and shook the running order up, and I really hate that all the leaders got caught up into that. But I was hoping to try to line it back up to the way we were, but I guess they wanted to run it out that way, so we ended up running. I got loose off of, I think it was turn 4 there, and I thought Lucas would have had me there. But overall, great race. I was just minding my own business, trying to run my own race. Kentucky's not really a great track of mine. I really have issues burning my stuff up, so I was just trying to be a little bit more cautious there.
Our buddy Dean. Dean, you got a question? You just want me to carry it for post-race?
Yeah, Jamie, you were hovering around that P4 place for some time as well too, and you got into the fence a little bit. Was it didn't look like it caused too much damage to your car?
No, I mean, it come up with a 0x, but yeah, it was something really weird. It was kind of like every time I come off a 2, my force feedback would quit on me, and I'd hit the wall and it'd come right back. It did that for a couple laps and then just didn't do it anymore. So yeah, really strange.
I'll tell you what, Mr. Mullins, I got to ask you this question, my man. Obviously, a special race because it is the race after, Veterans Day on Monday. So again, thanks to our men and women that have fought for our country, and I know that y'all have a very big military presence with the Goat Locker Racing program with Veterans for Life Foundation. What's your take of obviously to getting this win at a track that you really, as you said, don't care for? But with that being said, you have punched your ticket in to the semifinals. That's also got to be a great feeling, knowing that whatever goes on the next week or after that, you are going to be running for the chance to go advancing to the championship round.
Yes, sir. I mean, to get into the next round is always a good thing. But overall, I'm just here to have fun. Really am. I mean, this is probably my favorite series. I don't think there's a time during this race, any of this time at all, that I've actually been upset getting off of the sim. So to me, it's kind of like I can have fun here. I can learn. I mean, there's some really fast guys in here that I'm learning from every race. So
Sure.
to me, I know I'm up here and I'm running up front, but I have to give thanks to the guys that are fast because believe it or not, they're still teaching me. I'm following them, trying to learn their lines. I can actually kind of see when they're trail braking going in. Again, that's not a strong suit of mine. Saving tires, I still need to work on that. Hopefully within the next 10 to 15 years, I might get that down. But yeah, I mean, it does feel good to lock myself in. I can have a little bit of fun next race. But I really do, all these guys in here, they're racing hard. They're trying the best to do what they can do. We got some new guys coming in, and these guys, they're making mistakes. The biggest thing for them is not to get down on themselves. Continue digging, continue learning, get up with some of these guys up in here and let them coach you. That's what this development league is for.
Well, buddy, congratulations to you, obviously. He is the pro driver, by the way, and as I mentioned before we went to break at post-race, Mr. Mullins was the regular season champion he has 1 win, 0 poles, 4 top 5s, and 6 top 10s. With this playoff win, he again advances to the next round, and he now has 2 wins on the season. Of course, he is from the pro bracket. Now, ironically, from the AM division is the other winner of tonight's event. He finished overall across the line in 7th, Rusty Rafferty. And again, ironically, he is the regular season champion of the AM bracket. Rafferty with 2 wins, no poles, 3 top 5s and 3 top 10s. Now his 3rd win of the year. It's a playoff win, and you go to the semifinal round as well, Mr. Rafferty. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, sir. I needed it because next week is absolutely my weakest racetrack on the schedule.
Now, what track is that? Where are y'all going to?
Iowa.
Oh boy. Okay, so Iowa Speedway. I got you. Yeah. So that's a kind of a racetrack. That's a short track. Yes, sir. What'd you say? Fill it up with water?
They can fill it up with water and stock it with bass.
Oh wow. So it's a good feeling to know you're going to Atlanta, right? December 5th. I mean,
absolutely. I really needed it tonight.
Mr. Rafferty, what was your take of the race, man? I know you finished in the 7th spot overall, but how different is it when you're literally running for a championship or racing for wins in your AM bracket like Mr. Mullins is doing in the pro division, and you've got all of this going on, all these variables happening all at one time, buddy?
It's really kind of overwhelming, frankly. Jamie is a teammate, so it's nice to have him in race comms so that he can. He's kind of the voice of reason. He's definitely the one. It's like, hey man, just calm down, just breathe. You got it. You're running your race. So that goes such a long way in, kind of talking you off the edge, if you will. Because I was ready to mail it in. I got caught a lap down because of the caution came out right. I was mere feet away from pit entrance, and that trapped me a lap down. And I thought it was over for me there. But Jamie talked me down, and really all the guys in race comms talked me down, and it inspired me to send her. Really,
Dean Hopton.
No, I don't have anything. Sorry, actually, believe it or not.
Okay.
I don't.
Well, you advanced again, Pro-Am winner, and those are those guys that we spoke with. Before I let you go, man, thank your sponsors, Mr. Rafferty, and again, whatever goes on, you are not worried about Iowa now, right? You could take the week off if you wanted
to. I very well may. First and foremost, I want to thank Ricky Sis Jr. for painting up this car for me. I forgot to thank him last time. So I wanted to get that out of the way first. So thank you to him. And I want to thank Lincoln Tech for coming on and sponsoring the entire fall series. That's really awesome of them. Hidden Whip Brewery, Cruising Classic, Nasty's Restaurant, Bar and Grill, Veterans for Life Foundation. They do fantastic work. Jamie Perkins is just fantastic. The things that they do to get housing for veterans. Veterans for Life Racing, like I said, that's our race team. We swept them tonight, so that's really awesome. InVets, Jam Printing and Promotions, V Speed, you guys here at Nazareth 360, you guys are the best. And I also want to thank McConey Setup Shop as well.
Well, I appreciate it, man. I know I'm not usually the regular anchor here in the booth, but I definitely did my best to fill in for the redneck announcer, Mr. Jacob Reeves, so I appreciate the compliments. Dean Hopton always does a bang-up job as well. Little technical issues on the side because of weather, I think, in both different parts of where we are. He's in Australia. I'm in North Carolina, but we definitely pulled it off. So, man, thank you so much, and enjoy taking either playing hooky next week at Iowa or not worrying about what happens at Iowa. Again, Jamie Mullins, the winner of the Pro bracket, the AM bracket winner in the overall 7th place on the racetrack is Rusty Rafferty. Let's go down to the drivers that finished second and third now. Lucas Lyons. Lucas, I know I cover some other Nazareth broadcasts that you're a part of. Your take of this race, and boy, the race was very clean until that moment with lap car in the way, and that really kind of changed the outcome of the finish, didn't it, buddy?
Yeah, I tried to do a 2-stop strategy from the beginning, pitting on lap 23, and then got to someone because I didn't know that they were pitting. And then there at the end with that lap car, I mean, he's learning. I mean, I'm not holding it against him. But
I got you.
It's just, I wanted to win at my home track so bad. I have never won here, and it's just something I wanted to do, and to be 0.003 away from that is kind of heartbreaking, in my opinion.
Right.
But I did enjoy having that long green flag run that we had, and other than the cautions that we had, I mean, it was a great race.
Yeah. Yeah, it surely was, man, and definitely your car looked really, really strong, and definitely I see Cofield on the side of the 18 machine. So are you teammates kind of with Jonathan Cofield? And honestly, that really changed the scenario too when you guys are teammates racing with each other as well as trying to race Smith and Mullins, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, I mean, me, Cofield, Smith, we're all on the same channel, so like we were.
Gotcha,
He,
gotcha.
he, Eddie was freaking singing Eminem in my ear, trying to run him back down after passing Cofield, and then I mean, I'm a short run guy, so
Sure,
I
sure.
mean, I burnt myself up, so I just let Cofield go back by. Hopefully that they would have battled, and I would have been back in that fight for the win.
Well, but I'll tell you what, when it's all said and done, you do get second spot, and I guess the nice thing of saying it's a good finish playoff wise for you, right? I mean, now you got to go into Iowa next week and try to at least put yourself in a spot where you can try to win. But I mean, you're kind of in the cutoff line there now. I mean, you did climb up out of the cellar, I believe, because you were at the bottom of the barrel at eighth. But I mean, you've really got to kind of win now and get a knockoff homer, if you will, grand slam.
I think I'll actually be in a pretty decent spot going into
Okay.
Iowa. I mean, I like Iowa. I don't think I've ran ARCA there before, so it's definitely going to be a learning experience for me. But I'm just going to go in, try to have a good time, and hopefully pull something out.
There you go, man. Well, before I let you go, thank your sponsors and congrats on the second place spot.
I'd like to thank Coalfield Asphalt Refinishing, SM Racing Products, Top Tier, Honor Home Loans, Southeast Tutoring, Nazareth 360 for putting on this amazing broadcast and all the other broadcasts I'm in. Same thing with V-Speed, Veterans for Life, Veterans for Life Foundation, and all the leagues over here. Like, they're great sponsors to be with, especially working with veterans.
It's always great to catch up with Mr. Lucas Lyons, Owensboro, Kentucky. As he said, pardon the pun, home track, Sparta, Kentucky Speedway. And the man will finish in the Bluegrass State of the number 2 spot. Again, we'll see what he does at Iowa next week. Let's go down to the Tide Ride, the 87 Pontiac. There is Eddie Smith. Eddie, man, I mean, I really thought that you would be the guy that I would be talking to in Victory Lane tonight. I mean, your car just looked like it was in a totally other realm of anyone else out there. Had really good long run speed, had really good short run speeds, and then here's a look at it. The lap car, Unger, and a lot of people said, hey, man, he's a young driver. He's building up his resume. I don't really hold him at fault. Your take of what happened, because you kind of got the short end of the stick, if you will. Lyons was dirt tracking it all 4 sideways to save the car to miss Unger. You hit the back end of Unger's car, and it kind of took the win away from you. Your take of the race, my friend.
I thought it was a really awesome race. We had a lot of fun. I don't love Kentucky, but I thought the racy part of it was good. The race kind of played out perfectly for us, and we were in pretty good position there. And I'm not going to sit here and talk about that wreck too much, just because this is a learning league. This is what it's for. This is a learning series, and we want to welcome anybody that wants to, especially our sim rig winners like Josh Unger. We want to welcome those guys in this series, and it needs to be a place where you make those mistakes. You go to an official series, you go race officials in iRace, you make that mistake, you get just clobbered on, just people calling you this or that and all this kind of stuff, just being ugly to folks, and we're not going to do that here.
Sure. I got you.
We're here to, which I know you're not asking me that. I'm just saying this is what this series is for. Is for folks to be able to learn, make those mistakes, get better. And Unger's gotten a ton better than when he started. I mean, his progression has gone way up. So just a teachable moment that we'll discuss, and he'll be better next time and be better for it. And I'll be glad to be the one to help him, get in that right direction. And like I said, I hold no ill feelings toward it. I would have liked to won the race, but I finished third. I can't complain. The person I do feel the most bad about there is Cofield. I just wish I would have chose a better option. I just didn't know what we were going to do. I didn't know what his line was going to be. I thought maybe he was going to go up the track, and so I dove down. Hindsight says go high because it looks like I just drove right into him. But I thought his angle of entering 3 was down on the apron. I thought at first he was going on the apron, and then I realized he wasn't, and so I basically just drove into him, trying to get under him as he slid up, and it just a bad situation. So I'm sorry that Cofield got involved. I wish I could have picked a better option and probably avoided that.
I got you, definitely. Listen, I want to say that I commend you on, definitely, because, I mean, sometimes we see some of these guys and they do get frustrated. Oh, I can't believe this guy done this to me, and I can't believe he done that and this and that. And then at the end of the day, like you said, we're all here to have fun on iRacing. We're not paying the bills. We're just doing it for the fun of loving racing or loving simulation. And I like I said, man, I got to commend you on not biting the head off of Unger for sure. I'm only human, as they say. We all make mistakes, and obviously, I think if he can learn something from it, and I think that after what you just put it bluntly, this is what the ARCA Goat Locker Racing Series is for, no doubt.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm totally good. We've already talked, and I told him, I said, man, we're good. Do not worry about it at all. I said we didn't get hurt, we didn't lose any money, and we're all good. So this is it's a fun series, man. I'm glad to be a part of it. I'm glad he's a part of it, and this stuff's gonna happen. He's not gonna do me or anybody else any good to get upset about it. We're here for this to be a learning experience, and so I'm happy that I get to race around somebody that I consider a hero like Josh Unger, and so he can wreck me any day, in my opinion. That's what he's done for me in this country. He can, anytime we go on the track, he wants to wreck me. Hey, he's earned it, brother. So all good there. I'll just throw out my thanks real quick. I'm kind of running long here, but I want to thank Goat Locker. I want to thank Veterans for Life Foundation for their sponsorship of the series. All the other sponsors out there that make this thing go around. And thank y'all up in the booth. Appreciate y'all.
And you did get that Jam Driving and Promotions Pole Award as well. So good job, man, for sure. Thanks for your time.
Appreciate it, guys.
That's Eddie Smith, and the Tide Rod will finish, obviously, in the number 3 spot again when we're all said and done. The winner. Go ahead, Dean.
Oh, no, I was going to say, we've got to quickly let Jamie come back there and thank his sponsors that he's done for that, putting that 66 machine on.
I'm sorry, Jamie, did I not let you mention sponsors? Go ahead, buddy. My apologies.
Oh, that's okay. That's all right. I want to thank Lincoln Tech, Hidden Whip Brewery, Cruising Classic, Nasty's Bar and Grill, Veterans for Life Foundation. That's my team. All my teammates that's involved with the Veterans for Life Foundation, along with Veterans for Life Racing, which I'm a part of. The Indiana Department of Vets, or NVets, Jam Printing Promotions, McConey Setup Shop, V-Speed, and NASRA 360. I love y'all's broadcast. I mean, it's awesome. And I'm glad I'm able to finally talk to y'all a little bit more. Indiana Department of Veteran Affairs, I already said. Alexander PCs, that's a veteran-owned out of Chicago. Their sole builder for GLR here. Use Goat Locker at checkout to get $75 off, and $50 of that comes back to the GLR mission. Sim Motion, Next Level Racing, iRacing, Above the Yellow Line. Of course, we couldn't do this without iRacing, but I do want to thank everybody that's a part of GLR. This group is awesome. A great bunch of individuals in here. Great guys. And if you're looking for a league, this is the one to be in.
And by the way, I apologize for not letting you be able to throw your sponsors out there, man. My bad on that. But a big congratulations to you. And good luck the rest of the way. Again, Iowa Speedway is where they head to next week. Big thanks to, of course, Goat Locker Racing. And again, big thanks to Veterans for Life Foundation, VLFL, I believe, or VFLF.org, I believe, for more information on the Veterans for Life Foundation to do what you can do to help them out. And again, just kind of a special week anyway, of course, with the observance of Veterans Day on, remembering our fallen men and women for what they've done for our country. And I'm proud to be an American, proud to be have the freedoms to do what we do, whether it's doing iRacing or enjoying the sport of having the freedoms to just walk outside and enjoy life. So we go to Iowa next week. Don't forget, man, Goat Locker Racing. They've got you covered on several slew of different networks. You got V-Speed, Maconey, Nazra, V-Speed, all covering racing, whether it is Xfinity, Next Gen, ARCA, Truck, and the other truck series. Goat Locker Racing, by the way, on Facebook, if you'd like to know more details about it. There's a look at all their sponsors. We go to Iowa next week. Final race in the round of, obviously, 16 or the round of 12. And Dean Hopton, your final take on everything, buddy. We're going to get off the air here, man. It's been a long week of iRacing.
It has, and thank you everybody for tuning in and resolving through all the problems and stuff like that. But as I think, as what Eddie Smith had said there too, to wrap it all up, what a league! It's a learning league for a lot of drivers, and that's just great. How everybody has the admiration for mistakes are made, and we all move on from them. The only way to move on, of course, from the mistakes is to make those mistakes, and you grow from those mistakes and you learn. So what a league, and get involved, of course, fantastic. Wesley, and thank you for stepping in for Jacob as well.
It was, man, always a pleasure to be able to work with you. That'll wrap up my announcing iRacing endeavors for the week until Sunday when I do the virtual AI Thanksgiving Classic. I'll be back with, of course, Nazareth 360 Racing Network on Monday Tuesday. I'm off on Monday, as a matter of fact. We're off for the Nazareth DSR Electric Truck Series playoffs. We come back next week with the semifinal round. But, of course, there you go. Jamie Mullins, winner of the Pro Bracket. Rusty Rafferty, winner of AM. He finished in 7th, but he did get the win. Congrats to those guys. Thanks to all the sponsors. And, of course, for the Redneck announcer filling in for him, Mr. Jacob Reeves. Thank you again, as always, to Brady LaBeouf, Cody Knott of the Nazareth 360 Racing Network. Thank you to Dean Hopton. I'm Wesley Outland. Thanks to our winners. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to our veterans for life. And we congratulate again Mullins and Rafferty getting it done here at Kentucky Speedway. We'll see you next week for Iowa.